know, we just got back from a USA-Canada tour, 8 cities in 20 days, and when we got to L.A., we were introduced to Maximilian Williams, who came in and actually told his story of how, you know, he was raised in Oakland, California, and ended up where he was, and how he ended up in the room speaking to us in L.A., and made a proposal, and actually on the spot, Harold, our president and CEO, signed a contract with he and his companies, and they are committing to going all in with the Karatbars opportunity. And what I would like to do today is introduce Maximilian Williams, his first and inaugural participation as a contributor to the Breakfast Club. So, Maximilian, welcome to the Breakfast Club.
Thank you, Joe. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clearly.
Sure.
Perfect. Now, one of the things that just blew me away, you know, when Harold and Cheryl Ann marched you into the room, and all 8 of us are sitting there, and basically Cheryl introduced you, and you told your story, and when it, you know, I understood, you know, you grew up in Oakland, and I would like you to kind of touch on your upbringing and leading up to your brother's urgent meeting with President Obama. Can you kind of take us from point A to point B with that part of the interview this morning?
Sure. So, hi everybody. My name is Maximilian Williams, and yes, I grew up in Oakland, California, and you know, growing up for me, you know, things were, you know, a lot of difficulties. You know, a lot of people have their own little, I always say their sob story. I have a mom who has rheumatoid arthritis. So those guys are familiar with that. I mean, she has arthritis in every joint in her body, and so when it flares up, it gets really bad. She can't get out of bed and walk. So because of that, she couldn't work when we were growing up, and so, you know, we had government assistance, and we had to go through a lot of hardships, and, you know, I always tell people, but at the end of the day, I tell people that all the trials and tribulations you go through in life, all it does is add fuel to your fire, and it made mine just burn so hard, and all I just wanted more in life. I'm sure so many guys on this call right now, and the reason why you're up this early and you're on the call is because you want more in life also, and so I just wanted more. I was just searching. I just would try so many different things to figure out, you know, how can I get more in life. And I remember growing up, I tried, you know, building my own businesses from scratch, and I tried, you know, I was trying to look at different ways I could do, you know, to have more in life. I thought maybe I could win the lottery. And I realized, well, the odds of that happening are very slim to none. I thought, you know, maybe, I don't know what I could do. I saw franchises, and I was like, well, maybe I can give me a franchise, you know. But I realized that, you know, to get a McDonald's cost $2 million. I said, well, that's not going to happen. So I was trying to figure out what could I do to do something that would give me some success. And around 20 years old, my whole life radically was changed. So I met an individual who really changed my life when he introduced me to this industry. He's a very, very, very wealthy man and one of the best people in the world. And I remember the day I was blessed and honored to go sit down with him, and literally I was begging him to teach me his system that duplicated so much success for him in his life and for so many millions of people around the world. And I'm trying to figure out, well, how do you do it? You know, when you teach me your system, and then my life radically changed the moment he sat down and said he agreed to teach me. After I humbled myself, I was literally begging him. And he said he'll teach me on one condition. And I was like, well, what is it? He said that you have to promise me that no matter how much money you make, no matter how successful you come, that you will never, ever stop teaching others how to be successful. And so, you know, I agreed, and he taught me his whole entire system from A to Z, from top to bottom. He taught me the system that I've used for over 10 years now that changed my whole life. Within 2 years of him teaching me that system, I was able to retire at 22 years old. I've been retired ever since. I was able to retire my mom. I have 2 siblings who are mentally handicapped, able to take care of them. And, you know, everything just changed for me. And then I have friends who are in other, you know, different companies or in different industries spread around the world who came to me and would ask me to help them out. And all I did was teach them the same system that was taught to me. And next thing you know, they started setting records. They became, you know, some of them became the fastest growing companies and teams in the world in our industry. And they set massive records. Because of that, then all of a sudden corporations came to me and would ask us to develop the training systems and the marketing systems for their organizations. And so we did that. We developed some of the training systems for 4 of the top 10 companies in the world, in our industry right now. And they've set records, on average, within the first 90 days of implementing our system, they've experienced over 300% growth. And so that's just my background in our marketing industry. But what, got me really excited about and passionate about gold was just a few years ago, back in 2009, my eldest brother was the first person in my family to achieve master success, and he's actually the person that gave me hope. I thought if he could do it, I could do it. And but he achieved it in corporate America. And so my oldest brother is actually the president of one of the Fortune 100 companies, so one of the largest corporations on the planet. My oldest brother is actually the president. It's a financial institution. And so you guys remember back in 2009, President Obama had all the bank presidents come to the White House for a closed-door meeting about the economy and what's going on with the global meltdown in 2009. And so my brother had to go to that meeting. I remember he texted me during the meeting. He called me afterwards, and, I can't share everything that he talked to me about, but one thing I can say is that it was very clear that all the major heads of states, the President of the United States, Germany, France, England, all the major heads of states all agree and understand that our monetary system needs to be replaced. That hyperinflation has already begun. And most people don't understand, but I did a quick little preview. One thing you have to understand is that they have price records that go back 1,000 years. And you can see price stability for the last 1,000 years. Virtually no change in the cost of living until you get to the 1940s and then the 1970s. And from 1971 till now, it's the first time in recorded history, everybody understand this, it's the first time in recorded history that you've seen global cost of living go up on a consistent basis. And it's been going up now for 40 years, for over 40 years, for 4 decades it's been going up. And in the beginning, no one thought it was a big deal because they said inflation was 2%, inflation was 5%, inflation was this, and it was such a small change when things went up a few cents that no one saw a difference. But now you're starting to see that it kick into overdrive. You're starting to see the cost of living really rising quickly all over the world. And really all that means is that the value of all the paper assets, all the paper money in the world, every paper currency is declining at a faster rate. The speed of decline is speeding up all over the world, and they know this, and they see it. Then they see it because it translates into the cost of living going up. And because of that, they all know that they need to replace their paper currencies, but no one can agree on how they're going to do it. They know they need a new global monetary system. That fractional reserve banking is not working. But how are they going to do it? What are they going to change it to? They don't know. And they're not going to make that public knowledge yet because they don't want to scare the public. So behind the doors, one thing they do know that they all agree on is that whatever the system becomes, gold will still have its value. Gold is the one asset, the one thing that they know, no matter what, gold will still have its value in the new monetary system. And so because of that, if you look back in 2009, you'll see that all of a sudden you saw all the major central banks around the world become buyers of gold and stop selling their gold. They become buyers of gold because everyone's trying to shore up their gold reserves. If you look at, at that same time period, you saw India place an order for 200 metric tons of gold. You saw China build a whole new vaulting facility and recall their gold, and so they can start housing and protecting their own gold. You've seen the head of Brazil said they want all their gold shipped back to them from London. You've seen the Federal Reserve become actually net buyers of gold and start showing up, trying to replace and get all their gold back from all the gold they've been leasing over the last few decades. They're now trying to get that gold back. You're seeing all these nations around the world shore up their gold reserves because they know that's the one thing that's going to still have value when the monetary shift takes place. And so you also see at the same time, you see massively wealthy people begin to take action and get their gold. You see, Bill Gates, wealthiest recorded person on the world, his private company that actually handles all the investment. Most people think that Bill Gates' wealth is still through Microsoft, and that's actually wrong. Most of his wealth is held by a private wealth company that does all his investments. And one of their largest investments they have is actually their precious metals. And so you see Warren Buffett, all the people, despite what they're saying on TV, you see behind the closed doors, if you track what they're doing, they're all getting into gold and into their precious metals. Okay, now that's the one thing that's going to have value. So I became very passionate about trying to find the best opportunity to help the average person get their paper assets converted into gold so that they do not get wiped out when that monetary shift happens. So they can stop seeing their savings dwindle. So they can stop seeing the value of their money go down the toilet. And so we looked around and we literally analyzed every single gold company on this planet. We have a very big file analyzing every company, from their management to their financing to their corporate structuring to their marketing to their product to their distribution models to their commissions models. We looked at everything. And when it was all said and done, we looked at every company out there that's selling gold, that Karatbars International stood head and shoulders above every other company out there. And so because of that, we decided that we want to be, just all in with Karatbars and really help take this movement to the next level and help us to get gold into the hands of the average person and help Mr. Harold Sykes, our founder and CEO, fulfill the mission and purpose that he has. And so that's what we are. So we're very excited to be here with everybody, and we look forward to making some wonderful things happen and really help people understand what's going on in the world.
Maximilian, I appreciate all that, and one of the things that I just was blown away at, when we sat down and even have had some phone conversations since we first met, you shared with me some specific things of what Karatbars and why Karatbars was at the head of the class when you looked at all the other companies. And can you just touch, for people that really don't know what they have their hands on, just touch on a few of the bullet points of what Karatbars has to offer that the others do not?
Okay, well, what we do with guys is, we can split this up into, two main categories of points of what makes Karatbars so much better than everybody else. First category, look at it from a customer standpoint, because you want to make sure that whatever you're offering, whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing, that it's a good buy for the actual customers themselves. And so when we're looking at gold, when we're looking at all the companies, we want to see who had the best gold available for the average person. And so what first thing we had to look at was the fact that Karatbars gold is privately issued good delivery gold. And so why is that important? This was everything they're saying. Number one, that it's privately issued. See, most of the gold companies out there, especially the mega large ones that you see, the gold mines and the huge large bullion vaults and places like that, all these big gold sellers in the world, they're selling government-issued gold. And the problem with that is that according to international law, any gold that's issued by a government, that's stamped with that government seal, is by law, you are the bearer only, and that issuing government is forever the owner. You are just the bearer of that gold. What does that mean? It means that they technically still own that gold. At any moment they want to, they can recall that gold, and you, by law, have to turn that gold back into them. And they're only required to pay you the face value of that gold. So, for instance, if you're out there and you're collecting gold eagles, at the end of the day, the face value right now on American gold eagle is $50. So even though the gold prices are up to $1,600, $1,700 an ounce, it doesn't matter. They only by law have to pay you $50 for it. And so this is why you see the vast majority of most people do not invest in government-issued gold. And so it's the whole point that the gold is privately issued, and that if it is privately issued, that has to be on the LBMA good delivery list. What that means, some people are saying, well, the good delivery list, the reason why it's called good delivery means that by law it is actual currency. The nations are able to use that gold to settle debts. That's why it's called good delivery. I mean, you can settle debts with it. In other words, it's actual money. And so around the world, you guys, so we understand that this is why most people, when they're converting their paper gold assets into gold, they want to convert it into good delivery gold. And Karatbars is one of the very few corporations, private companies on the planet that issues privately issued gold, good delivery gold. But not just that, what takes them to the next level is the fact that they do it in small quantities. So you have a lot of private gold banks that do issue gold, good delivery gold to the major wealthy clients. However, when they do that, it's in large quantities. The average good delivery bar is 400 ounces. Right now, it's close to almost $600,000 in value. Now, this person doesn't have $500,000, $600,000 to invest into a gold bar. But with Karatbars, you have these small weights, these small 1 gram bars. Right now, $70-something US dollars, that is, that the average person can actually afford. And this is so phenomenal, you guys. This is one of the first times in history that you've had actual privately issued good delivery gold in a 1 gram size that the average person can afford. And so from a customer standpoint, this is phenomenal. Not only that, but they sell it at a price point that is actually at the market rate. And so because they're able to sell it at a price point that's consistent with all the other market rates for the 1 gram bars, it's a phenomenal. So that means that from a customer standpoint, this is like a dream come true. But then when you look at it from the affiliate standpoint, the opportunity side of it, it gets even better because one of the things that's phenomenal about Karatbars is that they do have what we call vertical integration. So some of you guys who may not be into all that kind of stuff, I'll simply put, they control the process of production. They produce the gold in the refinery, they mint it, they get it all stamped, it's good delivery, and they sell it directly to the customers. And so because of that, they cut out so many of the middlemen that even though they're selling gold at the market rate that everyone else is selling it at the same time, they still have that profit margin that most other companies don't have. So therefore, they're able to pay us commissions that no other company can pay you. So when you look at other companies out there that maybe they have small weights gold, or maybe you are able to sell the gold at a good competitive price. However, your profit margin is so small because they're buying their gold from a refinery. They're buying it from a mint. And so therefore, their profit margin is very low. Therefore, when they're selling the gold, they can only afford to pay you so much. They're going to pay you a little bit, whereas here with Karatbars, they can pay you so much more. So with any other company out there, if you're gold trying to sell gold for them, literally at the end of the day, you're making about 10 times less than what you could make here with Karatbars. Because they can't afford to pay us the commissions because they do have that vertical integration. And the analogy I like to use when we're comparing everything was this, you guys, and you can think about it like this. When you hear about oil is another commodity, and so when you hear that oil is $100 a barrel, are you paying $100 a barrel at the gas pump? Of course not. What happens? You have to get the oil refined. Just like you refine gold, you have to refine the oil, and eventually they go through all these processes that turns it into gasoline. Then you get that gasoline, and then that gasoline is then sold to a major distributor. That major distributor then sells that gas to the local owners of the gas stations, who then sell it to the public at the market rate. Now, the beautiful thing is this, you guys. The gas owner usually only makes that little bit of profit margin from when they bought it from major distributors when they sell it to you at the market rate. Imagine if you had a gas station and you had a deal with ExxonMobil, and ExxonMobil say, look, I'm going to give you your gas station for free. You have your own gas station now. You have to pay for it. I'm going to give you a free gas station, and I'm going to give you the gas to sell. You don't have to buy the gas and then sell it. I'm going to give you the gas for free and the gas station, and you can sell the gas at the same market rate that all the other gas stations are selling at. However, because I'm the one who dug the oil out the ground and I have that whole profit margin, I'm going to pay you a huge commission, and you're going to be getting it at that $100 barrel mark, and you'll be able to earn so much more than every other gas station out there. And this is what we have at Karatbars International. Then you don't pay to be an affiliate. They give it to you. They give you the actual business. You can actually start selling gold. You don't have to buy the gold and then sell the gold. And you're able to still sell at the market rate, but earn these huge commissions. If you can get that picture in your mind, you can start understanding the value of what you have in your hands with Karatbars.
That's powerful stuff, Max. And you know what? You shared most of what I wanted you to touch on. There's just a few things that you didn't touch on that we'll save for maybe this afternoon when we do the webinar with Al Fears. But let me just kind of bring this to a head here. With having said what you just said, all the reasons and taking you up to where you met with us in Los Angeles. For these reasons that you did prior to that meeting, you walked in there with all that information, all that knowledge, and I'm assuming this is why you are going all in with Karatbars. I'm assuming that is why you're discontinuing your contracts with all these other companies that you have building your portfolio that you've been servicing for years. And do I hear you right when you say you're actually severing those ties, and you're going to you're going to commit your resources, your staff, your equipment, all that you do in this industry to one company, and that is Karatbars International? Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. So we are exclusively only working with Karatbars from now on. This is it, you guys. This is the biggest opportunity on the history of the earth. And, the largest wealth transfer in the history of our planet is taking place right now. As globally you see paper assets converting into gold. And we want to be on the forefront with the best company out there that's doing it. And so everything we're so passionate about this. It's our life purpose, our life mission is to do this with Karatbars. And so, yes, everything will be exclusive for Karatbars from here on out.
Wow, that is powerful stuff. And what we're going to do here in just a few minutes, Joe, is we're going to go back and open the line for questions. And if you do have a question, what you need to do is press 5 star, and Joe will see that on the dashboard. He'll unmute your line. But I just have one more point here. Having said that, what are you putting together specifically to help the affiliates that want to build a business, want to build a book of business and an income, helping individuals and families help themselves? What do you have in store for us?
Well, what we're putting in place, you guys, are two things. One is a marketing system, and two is a training system. So the marketing system consists of presentation videos, and so you guys are starting to see those come out so far. I think some of you guys may have seen the Money Secret so far, and so we have a series of marketing videos that will be coming out. And so what that's going to do for everybody is make it so that you can have a professionally done presentation that's available to you 24/7 online. So anytime you ever want to present either the customer side of Karatbars or the opportunity side, not on you have one videos you can send them to the watch, and that's going to do a great presentation for them every single time. I always say, imagine if you have the best presenters in the world presenting the customer side of it for you, or presenting the opportunity side for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so we're putting these deals together for you guys. There's a new corporate website that will be coming out where the deals will be placed on, and the new corporate website looks phenomenal. You guys are going to love it. And so all these things will be coming out from a marketing standpoint. And then we also have other tools coming out for you guys also for marketing, but then most importantly it's the training side, which is going to be our Karatbars Success University. So Karatbars Success University, and the purpose is in the name. It's to help. It's a university. It's going to teach you how to be successful at Karatbars. And so the whole mission of Karatbars Success University is to help train you how to build a 6-figure business with Karatbars. There's no reason why the average person should not have a 6-figure business with Karatbars, because the opportunity is too huge, the revenue is going to be so high that the average person in there who's following systems to be able to get to 6 figures, and we're going to show you how to do it, and we've done it time and time again. Literally, we have thousands of people who have used our training system to build 6-figure businesses in our industry. The Direct Sales Association just had the Hall of Fame came out a few weeks ago. I think Joe was with me actually when they announced the top 100 income earners in the world in direct sales, and my phones were blowing up, and my scouts were blowing up out in the room with Joe, because I was blessed and honored that 2 of the people who I personally trained actually made it onto the top 100 list. One of them was actually a good friend of mine, Calvin Becerra. I've known him since we were 16 years old, and he actually became number 63 on the list right now, 63 income earner in the world. And then another friend of mine who I trained, Holton Bubs, is actually number 3 in the world. But more importantly is when your students become teachers, and they have taught people, and then they have people who they train with the same system who made on that list. And when everything was said and done, out of the top 100, we had over 18 people. We had 18 people on the top 100 list for the top income earners in the whole entire world, using this same exact system that we will now have exclusive for Karatbars and within our Success University. So in there, you're going to learn a lot of cool things, you guys. Phase 1, how to become core, how to properly structure your business, one, to keep success in the industry. With such a Karatbars, to structure your business properly, so you'll learn how to become core, how to structure your business. You'll learn phase 2, customer acquisition, where you're going to learn how to actually start acquiring customers on a consistent basis. How many guys would love to be able to know that every single day, every single week, every single month, your customer base is consistently growing, which means now your income is consistently growing and your residual is consistently growing. And so we're going to train and teach you guys how to get customers on a consistent basis. Customer acquisition. Phase 3, you're going to learn how to multiply your income. You're going to learn how to go out there and professionally recruit, how to build a sales force in your local area. Phase 4, you'll learn our strategic expansion plan. And our expansion strategy is so phenomenally well. It's patented. It's phenomenal how we expand everything. One of our most recent success stories is, again, Brandon's Calvin Becerra, who went out there and he works for one of the top 10 companies in the world in direct sales, and he has their largest expansion team right now. When they went to India, he built the biggest team in India. When they went to Malaysia, he had the biggest organization in Malaysia. Philippines, biggest organization in the Philippines. When I went to UK, biggest organization. Everyone was wondering how was he able to expand and blow up in every area, marketplace he expanded to, and you guys will actually know how to do it. You guys will have that system now. It's our strategic expansion strategy, and so everybody's going to have access to that. But not only do you have this phenomenal training, but you also have wealth education. There's going to be a blog within the university that you will have access to that will have the best financial education on the planet. We used to do private wealth seminars. People will pay anywhere between $5,000 to $15,000 a person to come to these private wealth seminars, and you're going to get that same information in this blog. And not only that, you get the Wealth Education blog, but we have our Karatbars TV, or KBTV, that will be coming out. And we have an online 24/7 TV channel for Karatbars. It'll be live streaming 24/7. It'll be personal development. It'll be motivation. It'll be financial education. You're going to have positive television, an alternative to all the nonsense you're seeing on TV. There's an alternative to that available to you 24/7. But not only that, but all of the top leaders in Karatbars around the world will have access to be able to go live and broadcast live on there 24/7. So when our founder, Mr. Harold Sykes, has something he wants to share with the field, he'll be able to go live, and you guys will watch it live from wherever you are in the world. And it happens to be nighttime for you, and you wake up in the morning and you missed it, it'll be automatically recorded, and you'll be able to go on and watch the last live recording 24/7, you guys. And not only that, but there's a lot of cool stuff. There's bonuses. There's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be within this Success University. There's actually going to be a promotional page for that going up today. And so stay tuned, plugging with your leaders. Mr. Joe Norman will let the field know when it comes available. But today, at some point today, you guys will be able to go online, and there's a whole promotional video that you'll be able to watch that explains more detail on what Success University is, how it works, and when it's launching. So January 15th. So be prepared, you guys. It launches January 15th for everybody. And the whole goal is to make this duplicatable for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can have your business growing, have your team learning, growing, and duplicating and building massive momentum for your business.
Wow, that's powerful stuff. And I'm all fired up all over again, and I've known all this for quite some time. But anyway, Maximilian, last question I just want to touch on before we open the line for questions.
Hey, Norman, this is Joe Shoup. I want to know if you got my Skype. If you would read that.
Yeah. I've already got it done.
Okay, good enough. I'm going to go ahead back on mute. Thanks.
Okay, great. The last thing, Maximilian, I want to ask you is, with having this knowledge of what you have, put together with your research, what you know about our company, and knowing what you have done in this industry with your system. Guys, we're not talking to someone that's serving an apprenticeship with our company. This is a guy that's turned company after company after company around with tremendous surges of growth and incomes throughout the organization. And having said that, Matt, what do you expect to happen Karatbars International in 2012?
Well, I expect that 2012 Karatbars is going to hit what we call momentum. So every company goes through 4 stages of growth. And everybody, you guys need to understand this, okay? Every company goes through what's called the 4 stages of growth. You have what's called formation. That's when the company is first formed. That's when everything is first put together. Then you have what's called concentration. Concentration is what you guys have been experiencing for the last 6 to 8 months, okay? Concentration is when everything is being tweaked. It's when the company's been formed, it's launched, but now you got to start tweaking everything, putting the last things in place, adjusting, making changes, making sure everything's just right, putting what we have now with the marketing, putting the systems in place for training and marketing, and that's the concentration phase. Then you hit what's called momentum. And then momentum is where I want to be at. Momentum is when the company starts to skyrocket, and then you have what's called formation, which is when it starts to taper off. That's when the massive growth starts to basically level out. And so the company in 2012 is poised to hit what's called momentum. It's going to start exploding all over the world, you guys. And so we're just really excited about that. But not only is it going to hit momentum, but due to our research and what we can see, there's no reason why Karatbars, in my opinion, will not end up being the largest corporation, one of the largest companies on the planet. Just from a pure number standpoint, you guys understand the opportunity that you have. Right now, gold sales industry is a $220 billion industry. But at the same time, it only represents 1% of global savings. Think about that. 1% of the market, and it's already a $220 billion industry. So that means that if they only have 5% market penetration, it will make it over $1 trillion industry. And when you think about the amount of numbers that is, I love the way Andy Warburton says it. There's no better product out there than money itself. Like you can't sell anything more than you can sell money, you guys. It's the one thing that everybody needs is money, and what to do with the money and converting it over to gold. And so when you see that and you see the position you're in right now, globally, you've already seen the nations do it, converting putting everything back into gold. Now you've seen wealth people doing it. Now the middle class people are starting to do it, and the average person. So you see major wealth transfer, and the industry is so large. But not only that, but the price of entry is so high that there are very few companies. So for it to be such a large industry, if you look at it, most industries that are that large literally usually have tens of thousands of companies selling that product or that service. But when it comes to the gold industry, you have this massive, large industry, and you have very few players. And Karatbars is one of them. So because of that, the growth in income revenue potential is just staggering, you guys. But not only is it staggering, we see it hitting at least $1 billion in annual revenue within a bare minimum within the next 3 to 5 years. But when it gets to that $1 billion revenue, because the company pays out so much and the commissions are so high, it's going to create so much freedom for so many people. You have the opportunity to get your piece of that pie, you guys. I always tell people, look, when you got a pie that's big, even if you just got one little slice, would you be okay? If you got a crumb, if that crumb fell on the ground, broke in half, and the ant carried away half, and you got the other half of the crumb, would you still be okay? This pie is so big that you had that little crumb on the ground, the ant carried away, you'd be sitting pretty, you guys. And so this is going to be a lot of phenomenal growth coming up, and you want to make sure you get your piece of that pie.
Wow, fantastic stuff. Well, we are on a passionate crusade to wake up the masses, and as the vision of our president and CEO that we got to know so well, Maximilian Harold Seitz, he said we have a program where our vision, our passion, our crusade is to bring gold to the middle class. There's no shortage of people in the middle class that want to buy gold. Most people in the middle class don't know how to buy gold. And those that do find a way to buy gold, they can't afford to buy gold. So we have a company that has the right weight, the right price point at the right time, and we expect tremendous things to happen here in the future coming in 2012, but already we're starting to see it as a result of the USA Canada tour. And as you know, Max, people just don't know what they don't know, and people are actually destroyed from lack of knowledge. And It's because of that people lose 40% of their portfolio in 2008. Had they had the knowledge, they would have positioned themselves to prevent that. And now we have a program that can help families, help individuals, help business entities of all types, for-profit, non-profit, to position themselves properly so they can keep what they've worked so hard to accumulate and even grow their assets by having an account with KB. So how important is it, Max, in your view, that people are open to learning a few new skills? And that's what your program is all about. And those of you on this call and the people on your teams, if you are willing and able to spend the time that you need to spend with what Maximilian's putting together, you are a six-figure income earner waiting to happen.
Well, it's super important, you guys. We have what we call a triangle of success. It's education, motivation, duplication. But the cornerstone of the whole thing is education. I love the way my mentor, Jim Rollins, used to say it to me. He used to say, look, Maximilian, life change does not start with inspiration. Life change starts with education. He said, look, you can be motivated, you can be excited, but if a guy's a motivated idiot, it's not going to make a difference, okay, guys? And so if you're out there running around like a chicken with its head cut off, it doesn't make a difference. You must educate. Education is key. It's the cornerstone of how this whole thing works. I remember there was a time when I used to be a youth pastor for a while, and I started a tutoring program for all the kids in our youth group, and I used to call it academic coaching. Marketing, right? So I call it academic coaching. And so we had some major success stories that were blowing people's minds. One of our first students who joined, a girl named Brianna, and she started off there. She had a 1.8 GPA. And the very next quarter, she went from a 1.8 to 3.2. And people were wondering how in the world she had such a dramatic change. And that was typical, not super, but that was typical of the success chain turnaround we had in students in our academic coaching program. And the reason why was because when the foundational principle that we would teach them was to raise your hand. That 99% of students in the classroom are not doing well because they don't raise their hand. The average person will literally sit through class for a whole hour and a half. You'll sit through the class and walk out the class still not understanding something. Only because they let the fear of what other people may think, what other people may say, keep them from asking the question that they need answered in order for them to understand what's going on and what to do. And I say all the time in life, no one's going to take the test for you. Just like in school, no one can take the test for you. You have to take the test. No one can go out there and sell Karatbars for you. No one can build your organization for you. You have to do it. And so if you want to be great at it, you have to ask the questions, about the challenges, and if you can start understanding what's going on, you can start overcoming your challenges, then that's what's going to lead to your success. And so we became very passionate about just educating. I think all the time our success formula, EMA squared, education times motivation times association times application equals your success. But everything always starts off with education, learning, knowing what to do. I say all the time, if you know better, you can do better. But if you want to do better, you got to know better. And so it's so important that you seek out the knowledge, that you seek out the information, that you find a way to become better at what you want to be successful at.
I couldn't say it any better myself. Powerful, powerful words. All right, we're going to start taking questions, and just like Maximilian says, if you want the knowledge, raise your hand. If you have a question, you have a statement that you would like to make, only if it can contribute to this call, raise your hand, guys. Let's get in the game. Get involved. And that's what the Breakfast Club is all about. So we're going to go ahead and start taking some questions. The first one, and Bill Peters, you've been waiting very patiently, and your line's unmuted. Go ahead, Bill.
Joe, thank you very much. Wow, what great information, Maximilian. Thank you so very much for what you're doing. Just the training and technology alone should blow most people away. If we're not out there using that tremendous gas station analogy between now and the 15th, when we get access to the things you're doing, we should all be using that. What a tremendous analogy. Maximilian, I have two questions. One is, the first one is probably fairly stupid, but I'm assuming that all of your training will, in addition to being able to be seen on a PC, it will be MP4 or iPad, iPhone friendly. In other words, able to be played on those. And then the second question is, in your research, among in 2009, among the countries and people acquiring gold, did any evidence come up of the United States trying to acquire or acquiring gold? Maximilian, thank you so very much.
Okay, well, Bill, you're welcome. I'm just excited and honored to be here to be able to help out. To answer your first question, yes, it will be. So, like I said, the technology, you guys are going to love it. It will be what we call mobile ready, meaning you can use it on all your mobile devices. You'll be able to view all the training on your iPads, on your iPhones, your smartphones, your anything. You'll be able to see it everywhere, okay, guys? So it is mobile ready. It'll be in multiple languages. You'll be able to access it anywhere in the world and view the information, you guys. And answer your second question, was there any evidence that the United States was trying to get gold back? Here's the thing, guys, is that, yes, there is. So the United States Federal Reserve is actually, they've been a net buyer. They've been trying to reacquire new gold. Not only that, but those of you guys who, people are familiar with the gold industry for the last few decades, people know that one of the things that has suppressed the gold price, and this is important for you guys to know this, one of the things that, the reason the gold price should have been exploded, one of the things that suppressed the price was that for the last few decades, the Federal Reserve, through Fort Knox, has been leasing out their gold into the marketplace, meaning that, and this is a fact, they would take the gold and they would lease it out, meaning that they would lease it to other corporations who would then use it for what they call platforms to trade on. That's a fancy way of, I'm not going to call it derivatives, but let's just say fancily put, you guys, they were leasing out the gold, but still counting it on their books. So even though someone else had possession of the gold and they were selling that gold and leveraging it, on their books they still said we have X amount of gold. But this is one of the reasons why in Congress, you guys have noticed probably in the last couple of years, you've seen this big movement in Congress talking about audit the Fed. And some of you guys may have saw it on TV and didn't quite understand what they were saying. What they're trying to say was that there hasn't been an audit of the Federal Reserve in over 50 years, meaning that no one actually knows if the gold actually in Fort Knox. No one's seen it for over 50 years. There's no tell. When's the last time you saw a picture of Fort Knox? When's the last time you saw a video of Fort Knox of the gold there? You have over 50 years it hasn't been out. And so they're rapidly right now trying to get all that gold they leased out. They're trying to get it back. So they're testing gold again, because when this whole thing shifts, they need to have that gold. And so, on record, it says they have 200 and a couple of thousand metric tons of it. They're trying to get it back, you guys. And so they're out there trying to reacquire all the gold that was leased out, tracking it down. And so it's really important that you guys, it's really important that they go through this process, and that they are trying to, get the gold back. But again, you guys, that's why it's so important that you have yours, and that you're going through Karatbars, that you're on a savings plan, that you're actually acquiring your own gold. When you see the banks out there acquiring gold, here's the thing, here's another knowledge I give everybody. When you put your money into the bank, this is what happens to it, you guys. You go put your money in the bank. The bank is then taking that money and leveraging it with the Federal Reserve, the central bank, who's then using that money to buy gold. So you give your money to the bank, and the bank takes that money basically and is buying gold with it. So why don't you just buy the gold yourself? And that's what we all have to understand. So it's so important that you're out there getting your gold. And so to answer your question, yes, there's major evidence that not just the Federal Reserve, but all the major central banks from all the major countries around the world are all actively out there trying to acquire as much gold as possible. And demand is actually bigger than supply, meaning that they're placing orders that they can't even get fulfilled for the next few years because everybody wants it, and there's so little of it out there, you guys. And that's why it's so important that you get yours while you can.
Awesome stuff. Hey, we're going to take Cindy Belmonte's question, but before we do, I just want to ask you real quick. I think that analogy, and I think everyone was blown away by the gas station analogy, is that could be a video waiting to happen. Maximilian, if you could please, if you could just write that down on your list of to-dos, if you could do a short, have to offer is like a refinery in a gas station, and that would be such a powerful, powerful video in the repertoire of promotional tools that we have to go to, and I know what Max, you're going to build a quiver full of arrows that when we become skillful and know which arrow to shoot at which person at the right time is going to be a yes waiting to happen. So I don't know if you would consider doing that, but if you would, it would certainly be well received.
It is on the list.
All right, fantastic. Cindy Belmonte, your line is unmuted, and fire away, my dear.
Well, all I can say is, damn, Maximilian, you have got me so motivated again, and I think everybody on this call has to get their people to the 3 p.m. live event, KB Gold Events, because if they have not heard from him, they're missing the boat. Your motivation, your education that you've gotten so far totally impresses me. And what we said on the Women's Perspective last night is if you don't have the education, there's no passion. You have to have that education of what we have in our hands. You've got it. I am so excited to have you on our live broadcast today. Thank you so much. We'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Cindy, do you need Cheryl and I on there too? Because I would prefer to yield. I mean, people don't need to hear from Cheryl and Joe. Well, maybe Cheryl, but not Joe as much as they need. They need to hear from. We need more Maximilian and less of Joe Norman, in my opinion.
It's up to you guys. You can hang out there and be ready to come on and be in there for like any other questions or answers that maybe either one of us don't have. John, today is John Alfear's birthday. He won't be on the broadcast, so I'll be flying solo. So if you guys are out there in the audience, that'd be great.
Okay. All right. We'll be there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Okay. Any other questions? 5-star. 5-star. We'll raise your hand. And if you want the knowledge and you want the answers, you have anything that you need help with, aid, support, and assistance, raise your hand. 5-star. Okay. We got all kinds of questions coming in here. Bill, last 4 digits of your phone number, Bill, 9007. You're unmuted. Fire away, Bill.
Yeah, my question is about the e-commerce site that's coming for affiliates. Is that free? Also, the university training, I'm assuming that's free, but I did hear you say that the TV portion is a fee to the affiliate as an option. Is that all that correct?
Maximilian, what?
This for me?
How's that going to work?
Okay, I'm not certain what we're talking about when we say e-commerce site. I can talk about the Fiscal University. I'm not sure what you're referring to. You said e-commerce site.
The e-commerce site has to do with World Orem. And the e-commerce site that people are going to be able to funnel people to buy gift cards and things of that nature without having to register as a customer or an affiliate. I do not know, quite frankly, whether that is going to be part of the licensing package or just free and available to everybody. We're going to get more information on that here in the next coming weeks, Bill. So I can't give you an affirmative answer on that, but Maximilian can on the system.
Okay. So yeah. So like Mr. Joe Norman said, he'll get you guys the information on the e-commerce site. I do know that the merchant cards and things like that that we're working on some e-commerce store options. That part, I think hopefully we'll be announcing that in the next few weeks. So I can't answer that too much. But on the training university site, the way it works is, you guys, and you guys will all see this come January 15th. The marketing materials and all that is going to be free of charge. And so all these videos we're developing for you guys at a major cost for us, and it's going out free to all of you guys. And so the studio, the editing, the sound production, the actors and everything, all that is, it'll be available to you guys. It'll be free of charge, all the videos, marketing, everything like that. the training system itself. There will be a small charge for the affiliates for that. There will also be a free trial, so you will be able to log in and try it out for yourself to see if it's something that you will see a benefit to yourself and your organization. But then there will be a charge for that, mainly because of the cost factor. It's way too much of a cost, and there's way too many of us around the world. Some of you guys know the numbers. There's over 51,000 affiliates for Karatbars around the world, and so the amount of traffic that we'll be getting is, the bandwidth, some of you guys aren't familiar with the technical side of it, but let's just say it gets very expensive to have that much bandwidth, to have that many people watching live streaming videos going out live across the internet with that much bandwidth, playing that often, is a very high cost for us. And so there'll be a small fee that literally is going to be covering the cost factor, so that we can provide the platform for everybody, and so at a high level, so that we're not skimping out, so it's all full-blown, top-notch. And that will all be, announced on January 15th, like I said. So it will be a small fee, but there'll also be a free trial, so you can try it out and see how well you think it'll help out for you, your organization. But it's a proven model that already duplicated a lot of success around the world. And so the fee that will be charged is, again, very small, and it actually just covers the cost factor for us, for providing all the bandwidth, providing all the actual training materials and everything consistently for you guys from here on out. And so that's what that's for. So, yeah.
Okay.
Hope that answers the question.
Joe, one more quick question. In regard to the one website that everybody can go to, when is that going to be in operation?
Go ahead.
Well,
which website?
What we're using right now until Max's system is available, we're using KaratbarsTV.com. KaratbarsTV.com, and then when Maximilian's program comes out, I'm assuming Maximilian is going to have a URL.
Yes. So there's going to be a couple of things, and this I'll be announcing when we launch. So there's, like I said, first off, there's a promotional website coming out today. So just stay tuned to all your leadership today, guys. There will be a promotional website. As a matter of fact, it most likely will be announced on that 3 o'clock call with Cindy Belmonte, and you guys will get the web address at that time, where you'll be able to go, and it'll be a promotional site. It just really is a one-page site. It's not something you can click around in, but there will be a promotional video on there with more information, and where you can sign up to receive all the notifications as everything happens. So you guys, that's where you can get your instant notifications as everything's rolling out, as it's all happening. But there will be a URL for the system. It'll be, like I said, there's a new corporate website coming out. It'll be on there. There'll be links, so it'll be very accessible and easy for everybody to get to.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Boomer here. I just wanted to chime in here. Hey man, listen, I want to paint a picture for you. With the system that Max is providing for us, it has a very important aspect that I want at least convey you to recognize. You see, without the system here, I've been working in 7 or 8 time zones in different places, and I am busy all the time. The importance about a system is a couple of things. Number one, it sends a uniform, compliant message across the globe as you direct traffic to the system. Number two, it's the system that gives you your time back, because as your group grows, when the system takes care of some of the needs that you need to convey and communicate and distribute, unless there's a uniform system like the one he is creating for us, you will run out of time. You might make money, but you're going to run out of time, and the most valuable asset you have is time, not money. So Max, man, I was like jumping up and down when I was invited in that room to take a look at what you were doing. I'm telling you right now, man, I feel presence with you, brother.
Great stuff,
thank you.
Boomer. Hey, we got a ton of questions here, and we're at the top of the hour. I'm going to unmute Cheryl Ann. Go ahead, Cheryl Ann. I see you got your hand up here.
Hey, I just wanted to say that everybody wants to see your face, Joe. Your facial expressions are priceless. So when Maximilian's talking, I just like watching your face. Today's call. Good morning, everyone. Karatbars Nation.
And for all you brand new people, Cheryl Ann Gober is her and her husband Brett are master distributors that were pretty much handpicked by our European counterparts, and they pretty much got all this started. She's my upline and just a dear friend, and was one of the 5 top leaders that was on the USA Canada tour. So I'm going to leave you unmuted, Cheryl Ann. I've got Ron Smith in Texas. You are unmuted, Ron. Fire away. There we go. Go ahead, Ron.
Yes, can you hear me?
Now we can, yes.
Yes, real quickly, if Maximilian can describe that gas station analogy just real quickly one more time, because I was distracted and didn't get to hear it.
Can you do it on recall, or was that just a divine moment of inspiration there?
Yeah. So let's try this one more time. So here's the thing, guys, is that the way the gas station analogy works is like this, is that gold is a commodity, just like oil is a commodity. And so what happens is that you think about it like this. Right now, you have oil right now, let's say it's $100 a barrel. I know that's not the price, you guys, so, but let's just say if the price was $100 a barrel. Are you paying $100 a barrel at the gas pump? Of course you're not. Why? Because it's $100 a barrel is what the people who bought the oil out the ground, that's what they're able to get it at. Does this make sense to everybody? And then they take that oil and they sell it to the refineries, and then the refinery makes the money, and then the refinery goes and they refine the oil into gasoline. They turn it into gasoline, turn from oil into gasoline, and there's a cost factor there. And then they take the gasoline and sell it to major distributors, who then make a profit, who then sell it to the local gas station owner. Okay, and now the local gas station owner gets the gas, and he sells it at the gas pump at what's called the market rate that all the other gas stations sell it at. Now again, is every gas station the exact same price? No, they're off by a few cents, but they're all at the market rate. Okay, you guys. And so imagine if you got a deal with ExxonMobil. And ExxonMobil says, guess what? It costs us $100 a barrel to get this oil off the ground, but we're going to sell it to you. We're going to give you your own gas station for free. You don't have to pay for the gas station. You don't have to set the gas station up. You don't have to worry about the distribution. We're going to do all the shipping of the oil we're going to refine the oil. We're going to turn it to gasoline. We're going to ship it to your gas station pump for free. And now you can sell that gas to the local market, to your local market rate, directly to the consumers at the same market rate that all the other gas stations are selling it at. But it didn't cost you no money. And not only that, but we're going to pay you a huge profit margin larger, because you're going to have to pick up on all that profit margin that normally all other people would have made. And so imagine if you were selling gas stations at your own gas station, but you didn't have to pay for it, and then you're making way more than all the other gas stations out there because you got it directly from the refiner and had this deal. Well, that's what happens with Karatbars International, you guys, is that you don't pay for your business. It's given to you. You don't worry about distribution. They take care of it. You don't worry about the mining. They take care of the mining. They take care of the production. They give you the gold. You have to buy the gold and then sell it. Normally, when you have a gas station, you have to buy the gas and then sell the gas. Normally, when you have a gold business, you have to buy the gold and then sell the gold. Well, imagine you had a gas station where you didn't have to do that. Well, same thing with this business. You're not buying the gold and then selling it. You just have the opportunity to actually sell it. And help people convert over, and you still get paid. Did you know that if you look at those major companies out there that are selling gold right now, like a gold line or bullion vault, places like that, to become a actual what's called they call them market maker. That's what they actually call it. It's called market maker. To actually be a distributor for gold, you have to have to be a major distributor. The qualifications are around $20 million, $23 million liquid cash, and you have to prove that for the last 2 years. You have that much liquid cash, and you have to have a record in the industry of moving X amount of tons of gold every single year. That way they know that they can count on you buying so much from them all that you won't have the money to and the resources to buy it and move it, and therefore they'll sell it to you at that discounted price to make that margin when you're selling the gold. Here with Karatbars, you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to buy it and then sell it. You don't have to have a certain amount of sales that you maintain. No, you're able to sell as much or as little that you want to without ever having to buy it first. And so you just have the asset to move it around. So again, it's like having a gas station that you got for free, and you're getting the gas direct and get all that profit margin.
Maximilian, it's just off the charts awesome, and I can't wait to see what you can do with a video with that thing, because if we could have some high resolution graphics of a picture of a gas station and an oil company and all that, it'll just impact people. Because as everybody knows, people, human nature, they avoid what they're not familiar with. Believe me, you drive a car, you're familiar with gas stations, and that's one of the most painful parts of your week is when you have to go fill up. So that's going to really, really impact people and hit them where it really hurts. So great job, great inspiration there. And hey, Boomer, Dr. Dennis, and Cheryl, why didn't you guys think of that?
And you, Joe?
Yeah, well, I have an excuse. I'm just a dumb football player, right?
No.
Like ask it all.
All right, we got more questions here. I got Joe must be calling in on Skype. And Joe, I just unmuted your line. I don't know which Joe. We got probably more than one, but the one that has a question, go ahead and fire away. Joe going once. Joe going twice. Joe going.
Joe, this is Michael Muhammad, buddy. How are you?
Was that Michael Muhammad that I just unmuted?
Oh, that is me, my friend. I just wanted everyone to know that I was here, and I'm very grateful for the time on the phone this morning. And what comes to my mind is the thought that when we discuss education, we know there has to be a teacher involved with the education. Is that correct? Can you hear me?
Absolutely, loud and clear.
And what comes to my mind is the scripture that says, how will they know unless they have a teacher? And how will they have a teacher unless that he or she is sent? So our mission is to go into the highways and the byways and be teachers. We have to become servants because teachers are servants. And when you serve the people, when you give them knowledge, when you enlighten them, then you create a paradigm shift in their consciousness, and they realize on a subliminal level that they are receiving, and then they are more prone to reciprocate. As opposed to trying to go out and take something from people like so many people in this industry have a tendency to do, or just go and sign somebody up and sign somebody up and sign somebody up so that they can get some sort of financial reward, when we can go out and we can help people, we can educate people, we can uplift people, then we are certainly serving the divine calling, and we cannot help but be rewarded, because the infinite source of all rewards is the Most High. And when we serve the people, we are automatically receiving the benefits that we are worthy of. So these are just things that come to my mind today.
Michael, that's powerful stuff. And Cheryl, you and I have been in since the beginning, Boomer and Dr. I mean, we've seen internet marketers come and go that do just that, just sign people up. They're just looking to throw and sling mud on. They're not looking to teach anybody anything. They're just looking to sign up, and they do not have the servant's heart and the servant's mentality. However, those that do, look at the businesses they've built. Look at the size of the businesses that the people that have that servant's mentality, that come into this as a teacher, look at the size of their business. And we haven't seen anything yet, because we're still in the concentration phase, and we're just now entering into the momentum phase. We're going to go from 50,000 to 500,000, and we know that in 2012. And the question is, how many of those are going to be in your business? How many of those are going to be well-educated, well-trained, because someone cared enough to educate and train them? That's the bottom line. So how How are you going to know unless you get taught? Exactly right, Michael. And we've got great contribution to today's Breakfast Club. We've got some more questions, and I'm going to go on to, let's see here. We've got one that's a brand new, maybe a brand new affiliate. Last 4 digits of this phone number, 7899. They've patiently waited. Last 4 digits of your phone number, 7899. And who is this, please?
Oh, hi, Joe. It's Sherry Heinrichs, just calling in on a different number, actually, my landline. This is very exciting for me. And by the way, Maximilian, I'm born in Oakland, so were my parents. So I haven't gone far. I'm up in Petaluma now. I am so excited about this training system because I really feel it's, as Boomer said, it will give us back our time and also give us one voice to speak with, which I think is just, I personally know is really powerful. My question is, with the system that's coming out January 15th, there's very little time for you to put this system together. But for those of us who have been in this business for a while and have a background in it, will we be able to move quickly through this system? Will we have it available to us quickly, or will we be getting a little bit of it at a time?
Okay, so hi, Sherry. So fellow person from Oakland, hey, congratulations. So to answer your question, yes, it's actually going to be about when January 15th comes. First, let me start with this, you guys, is that we've been working on this with the company for a while now. It's been months and months and months in the making. And when it launches January 15th, it'll be launching full blown. So it won't be piecemealed out to you. So when it launches January 15th and it goes live, everything will be on there. So you guys will have total access at that moment. So you have access to everything right then and there. And you guys are right. It will give you back your time. One thing I'll just touch on real quick in regards to the last comment plus this question is that I tell you all the time is that the thing that's great about this business, see, normally what happens in this business, you guys, is that the further away your business goes from you, the slower it grows. Normally what happens is that you can get this huge growth spurt and then it slows down. And the only reason why it slows down is because the growth spurt came from the teacher, the motivator, the main person in the middle who was driving it, your passion, your education, your teaching. But as your business grew away from you, the bigger it got, the slower it grows. And that's because, teaching is a gift, motivating is a gift, and not everyone has those gifts. And so, but what everyone can do is everyone can point. Everybody can point people in the right direction. And so what the system does, or we thought over the last decade, what the system does is it creates that duplication and gives you back that time freedom, because now you don't have to stay up 24/7 working with 7 or 10 different time zones. You have to worry about teaching your people, their people, their people, their people, their people. The system handles the education. People are able to learn, and you're getting the learning from the top people. So the videos on here, we have the top people in Karatbars around the world recorded. You get the top training live all day long from the top people who are training your people. Imagine that you had your team being trained by the best people in the world in Karatbars 24/7. And so whether you're available or not, the training's happening. What's going on 24/7. People are learning from the best 24/7, and so that's what it does for us. And our goal is to make sure everything is top notch. And so when it launches on January 15th, it will be full blown. Everything will be in place. It'll be total assets. It's not going to be one piece at a time. So you're going to get everything full blown January 15th. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. Oh, more than answers it. I'm just about crying here because I am an educator, and that's all I spend my time doing, and I need to be able to build this business. So I really appreciate it. We need this so badly. Thank you.
Well, and thank you from me, too, and thank you to Big Boomer, Dr. Dennis, Cheryl Ann, Sherry Heinrich, all the contributors today. Also, certainly Cindy Belmonte has really stepped up as a tremendous leader in so many ways, and I want to encourage everybody to not miss the 3 o'clock webinar, that we're going to get another round of this fantastic training from Maximilian Williams, and it will be done in a webinar format. So not only is it going to appeal to your ear gates, but also your eyes as well. So for all of the contributors today with the Breakfast Club, Joe Norman here in Worcester, Ohio, thank you all for your time and attention. God bless, and have a fantastic day.